Thanks, Jordan. Let's get right to it. 6:36. Craig and Jack in till 8 o'clock when Coach John Quintero will step in here on San Diego Sports Leader Double X 1090. Out to the Western Exterminator Hotline we go, where we are thrilled to be joined by a great college basketball player in his own right who has become a bit of a recruiting guru on Montezuma Mesa, assistant coach under Steve Fisher's staff. Tony Bland is our guest here on San Diego Sports Leader Double X 1090. You can follow him on Twitter at TonyBland04. Tony, Craig and Jack here. Thanks so much for the time tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited about it.
You got to be excited when it comes down to the city championship. I mean, this is something that's been building up year over year here in terms, I think, of the excitement and the tradition of it, and it's really becoming a night that people look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. We know it's always a tough game, and those guys have done a great job over there. You know, they're extremely well coached and have some good players, and we're ready to play the game.
Coach, when you look at the rivalry itself, you guys have dominated. You are the ranked team. You are the team that is have all of the accolades going for you going in here. Yet USD has played this game so close over the years despite not having the victories here. How do you prepare for the rivalry, if at all any different than any of these other contests going into tomorrow night?
I think that's a great thing about Coach Fisher. He doesn't change his philosophy. He's going to prepare for every game like it's a national championship, whether it's USD or, whoever we might play. So, I mean, we understand that these guys, we might run into them at Cheesecake Factory and PF Chains, and it might be like a little shrug of the elbow like we got y'all last year, but it's nothing different than that for us. We're going to go about it business as usual.
Tony Bland, our guest on the Western Exterminator Hotline. Tony, what do the Aztecs need to do to start finding the middle of that hoop from the outside? It seems like it's been a struggle throughout most of the beginning of the schedule.
I think we have to do what the guys have been doing lately. They've been getting more hours in the gym, and they've been, working on the things that they feel have been the reason why they haven't been making the shots that they usually make. So, Jamal Franklin is a workhorse. He lives in the gym, but I think it's contagious. He's gotten 3 or 4 more guys in there with him, and they'll bring a couple guys with them. So I think the past couple games we've been shooting a little bit better, and I think it's going to continue to get better as the season goes along.
I imagine that part of that, Coach, involves Chase Tapley, and it involves when you talk outside shooting and you talk, just pure shooting, at times the Aztecs have struggled there. But when Tapley is on, he changes exactly that, and he makes it contagious on the court.
Oh, for sure. Do you guys remember Al Fox? I'm throwing the name.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Okay, Chase reminds me so much of Al Fox. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, Al Fox to me was one of the best shooters I've ever seen. I played with him, and I will see what this guy do in practice. But when I watch Chase, sometimes he makes tough shots look easy. And you're right. I mean, Chase is a guy that if he gets going, it's going to be a long night for anybody. I mean, you see the game last year against Baylor where he had, 3. So, I mean, Chase is in his zone right now, and hopefully, a couple other guys can pick up where Chase is doing.
James Johnson expected to make his Aztecs debut Tuesday, Coach, against Point Loma Nazarene because of the finality of having grades posted or whatnot, I guess, unavailable for the city championship. But once he becomes a member of the Aztecs rotation, what will James Johnson mean to this team as an inside presence?
It'll be great. I remember thinking back to last year when we walked to NC State, we were saying, like, wow, they were just so much bigger than us. We couldn't compete inside, and James gives us that. He gives us a big physical presence in the post. He's very skilled, and he's a guy that, like Skylar and Deshaun, will do whatever it takes, to get that win. And now we feel like adding James, we're just as big and just as good down low as anyone in the country.
And speaking of that height, and at times you have been at a disadvantage height-wise. You mentioned the tournament game last year, and you're correct there. But, give me an example on, say, J.J. O'Brien. How tall would you really, in reality, give it to us straight, say that J.J. O'Brien is?
I'm trying to figure out if he got an afro right now. It depends on which shoes he wears.
because he's a guy,
like Fletch, 6'6", 6'9" with the fro.
That's right. Because he's a guy, Coach, who plays taller because he's smarter. Because he's a guy who plays in a bigger role height-wise than he really is.
Right, no doubt about it. He thinks a lot on the court. I guess his brain makes him bigger. You stretch it out a little bit. So JJ, yeah, he's about 6'7", and he plays like, he has a few more inches to him. So, I mean, but people don't understand, we bring a 6'8.5" guy in as a backup point guard.
Right.
And we got Dwayne Polee, who's a legit 6'7", and Skylar Spencer, who's a legit 6'9". We have the height now that, maybe we've lacked in the past years.
Tony Bland is our guest here on San Diego Sports Leader XX 1090. I'm Craig Elston along with Jack Cronin here till 8 o'clock tonight. Now, Coach, a lot of news being made off the court in and around San Diego State basketball, and I want to start with the announcement the program made earlier this week, an upcoming home-and-home series with the Kansas Jayhawks. To me, there's no greater sign of the progress that Coach Fisher and your staff has made in elevating the San Diego State program than to see that Syracuse, UCLA, Kansas, that these programs, these nationally prestigious programs, are willing now to schedule you as equals instead of looking you as that mid-major that they don't dare schedule because it's going to hurt their strength of schedule and then they're afraid they might lose. You've moved up into that category now where it's apples to apples when these big-time programs are coming to talk to you.
No doubt about it, and Coach Fisher has done an excellent job in our players. And when I'm out in the summer and recruiting, and I'm rubbing elbows with my peers, and they all say like, you guys are doing an amazing job. We're not going to come play you guys at your place, and you got we have to do a home and away and all that type of stuff. So it makes you feel good to hear it. But at the end of the day, we still have to go out and play Kansas. So
Right.
It's just different from saying we're playing those guys and actually getting out there and competing. So. We're excited about it just for everyone to acknowledge us as a top-level program in college basketball.
Coach, how does what has happened here this week with the Big East Conference and the basketball schools leaving and really leaving only the football schools in the Big East Conference, how does that affect your non-conference scheduling that was part of the de facto agreement heading into the Big East Big West split coming up next year?
You guys gonna have to get Coach Fisher on for that. I have no idea, guys. I was hoping you guys could tell me something.
Oh man,
I don't know.
likewise.
I have no idea, guys. I really don't. When it comes to that type of stuff, we have meetings for maybe 2 hours every morning, and when those conversations come up, I'm so good. It's like when I was in school. I'm so good at like tuning stuff out. So, I have no idea. Once they start talking the good stuff, like the on the court stuff and the recruiting and all that, I'm immediately dialed in. But when it comes to that conference realignment and all that stuff, I have a great gift for tuning stuff out.
That is outstanding,
Yes,
Tony.
it is.
By the way, I would also like to suggest that was an outstanding deflection in the passing lane of that question. You did a great job. But I'm going to try to save the ball before it goes out of bounds here, okay? When you are out there and you are one of the top recruiters in the country and certainly one of the guys on Coach Fisher's staff who is out there in the high school gyms talking to these top recruits, trying to get them lured in, trying to reel them in. What type of feedback are you getting back from them, from potential future Aztecs, as to how all of this stuff, all of these moving parts may impact their desire to come to the program or not?
I think at this point, I think San Diego State is a brand. I think whether we're in the Big West, which is we feel is a really competitive conference, or the Mountain West, we feel the same. I think if we're in the West High School League, wherever league we're in, I feel like San Diego State is a brand to where, we're selling San Diego State and not the league. I feel like they know if they come here, they're going to be able to play with a lot of freedom. They're going to be able to play with a lot of, we're going to play up-tempo, and that's what the guys look for that I recruit. To be honest with you guys, I really haven't had to talk about conference realignment a lot with the guys that I've been recruiting. So I'm gonna go crack open the book now that you guys put me on the spot.
All right.
But I haven't had to reach it so far.
Well, I'll tell you, definitely stay tuned next segment, Tony. You might want to pop in. You can listen live on your iPhone if you need to, because there is actually a great rumor about a gigantic conference that could be coming to bear that involves San Diego State and would be an amazing basketball conference. So, but I'll let you hear that in the next segment. We won't put you on the spot on the air about that. We'll go ahead and let you listen to that and enjoy it. It'll be just exactly 24 hours from now when we're on the air with the City Championship, USD and SDSU from Viejas Arena right here on XX 1090. Coach Tony Bland will be on the bench. Coach, we really appreciate the time. Love the conversation. Always love talking to Aztecs college hoops. Could do it any time with you, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.